Welcome to HH28, where we unravel the secrets of self-discovery and matchmaking. We are Hugh and Heather,
two master holistic guides dedicated to helping you navigate the worlds of numerology, astrology, and personality in pursuit of meaningful connections.
Hey everyone, welcome back for another deep dive. You know how much I love digging into these fascinating topics, and today we're really in for a treat. We're going to be exploring the world of numerology. Specifically, we're going to be unpacking the significance of 0, 12, 13, and 28. I'm really curious to see what kind of wisdom these numbers hold.
Yeah, these are fantastic numbers to take a look at. Each of these numbers really represents a different stage in what we might call the cycle of creation. And that's something that we see repeating in numerology over and over again. So, starting with the number 0, we encounter the vast potential that exists before anything manifests into being.
Yeah, and it's funny because when you think about 0, you often think about nothingness, right? But in numerology, it seems like 0 is less about the absence of something and more about the potential for, well, anything. I like to think about it, like a blank canvas for an artist.
Oh, that's a great way to put it. Absolutely. Think about it this way. Before a single word is written, a novel has the potential to become any story imaginable.
Right.
That's the energy of 0. It's that seed of possibility, that quiet hum of infinite potential before it takes form.
Okay, I can already feel all that creative energy buzzing around. But, if 0 is the starting point, where do we go from there? The material you sent over mentions 12, and I have to say I'm a little stuck on that one. What's so special about the number 12?
Well, in numerology, 12 often signifies completion, wholeness, a sense of things coming full circle. And think about it. We see these cycles in nature and even in our own lives, right? 12 months in a year, 12 signs of the zodiac, 12 hours on a clock face.
You're right. I've never thought about it like that. But those are all really great examples of 12 representing this kind of complete cycle. It's like that final puzzle piece slotting perfectly into place.
Exactly. But it's important to remember that achieving this sense of completion, this 12 energy, often requires collaboration, teamwork, a blending of different perspectives.
That makes a lot of sense, actually. It's rare that we achieve anything truly significant in isolation, right? It usually takes a team effort, a diverse group of people bringing their unique skills and perspectives to the table.
Precisely. And this idea of collaboration, of diverse energies coming together to create something whole, is something we'll see reflected in different ways as we explore these other numbers today.
Okay, I am hooked. So we've gone from the potential of 0 to the completion represented by 12. What comes next in this numerological journey?
So we've journeyed from the infinite potential of 0 to the satisfying completion represented by 12. But as with all cycles, the journey doesn't end there, does it? What comes after completion?
Well, I have a feeling it's not all smooth sailing from here. I'm guessing this is where things get a little more interesting.
You got it. You see, the number that follows 12, number 13, often gets a bad rap. People associate it with bad luck, superstition, even fear.
Oh yeah, Friday the 13th, black cats, all that.
Yeah.
But I'm thinking numerology probably has a different perspective, right?
Absolutely. In numerology, 13 isn't about misfortune. It's about transformation. It's about embracing change, stepping into the unknown, that point in the cycle where things break apart, shift, and realign, often in unexpected ways.
Okay, yeah, I can see why 13 gets a bad rap then. Change can be unsettling, even a little scary sometimes. As humans, we kind of crave stability. We want predictability.
True. Change can be challenging, but it's also inevitable. Those who resonate with that 13 energy often navigate these big life changes, with a certain grace, a certain resilience. They understand that endings are just opportunities for new beginnings.
Right, like that old saying, when one door closes, another one opens. 13 is that moment when you're standing in the hallway, maybe a little unsure, but you're ready to explore what's beyond that next door.
Exactly. And sometimes, to step through that door, we have to let go of what no longer serves us. 13 really encourages us to release those old patterns, beliefs, even relationships that might be holding us back.
That really resonates with me. There have definitely been times in my own life where I've clung to something familiar, even when deep down I knew it was time to let go. It's like 13 is that little voice urging us to trust the process, even when it feels a little messy, a little uncertain.
Right. And what follows that process of transformation, that period of 13, is often when we start to see the emergence of something new, something extraordinary.
Right.
Which brings us to our final number, 28.
Okay, 28. This number is often associated with success, ambition, even wealth. I have to admit, this one piqued my interest. Tell me more.
It's true. 28 is often linked to those things. But it's not about achieving success at all costs. Remember how we talked about 12 emphasizing collaboration? Well, 28 brings that energy back into play.
Oh, interesting. So it's not just about individual ambition. It's about achieving success in a way that benefits others, too.
Exactly. Recognizing that true success, lasting success, often involves lifting others up as we climb, collaborating, working together, and using our achievements to make a positive impact on the world around us.
Yeah, that makes me think about those examples we saw in the material. Richard Branson, Kobe Bryant, Oprah Winfrey, all incredibly successful individuals, but each in their own unique way. And what struck me was that their success wasn't just about personal gain. They were all about building something bigger than themselves, something that inspired and empowered others.
Exactly, and that's the essence of 28. Finding that sweet spot between ambition and collaboration, between achieving great things and lifting others up along the way.
Wow, I'm sensing a real theme here. From the potential of 0, through the collaborative energy of 12, the transformational power of 13, and now to the balanced success of 28. It's like we've walked through this whole cycle of creation, a microcosm of the human experience almost.
You're exactly right. And what's even more fascinating is that these numerological principles aren't just these abstract concepts. They offer real, practical insights into how we can navigate our own lives with more purpose and intention.
This makes me wonder, can we actually use these insights, this understanding of the numerological cycle, to better understand our own strengths or our challenges, even our life's purpose?
Absolutely. And that's where things get really interesting.
Man, it feels like we've trekked through like a numerical jungle, and I gotta say, I am feeling energized. What about you?
Absolutely, yeah. There's just something about seeing these numerological principles come to life, especially when we start connecting them to our own personal experiences.
Exactly. How do we actually use these insights, this understanding of the numerological cycle, to actually gain more clarity about our own lives, about our paths, maybe even our purpose?
Well, in a way, we've already started by, going through and exploring those qualities of 0, 12, 13, and 28. We've been kind of mapping out this universal blueprint for, creation and growth. Now it's just about recognizing where we are on our own personal maps.
Okay, so it's like we've got this amazing, intricate map, but now it's like, okay, I'm standing right here. Where do I go from here?
Exactly. And numerology can actually help us pinpoint our location and maybe even illuminate some of those potential paths forward. Remember how we talked about 0 representing that blank canvas? Well, in a way, we each have our own blank canvas, our lives. And numerology can help us to understand the tools that we bring, the colors that we're drawn to, the kind of masterpiece that we're capable of creating.
I love that. So how do we actually start applying all this? Like, what are the practical steps we can take?
It starts with awareness. Just start paying attention to the numbers that show up in your life. It could be your birth date, your address, even those seemingly random numbers that just seem to pop up again and again. These can all offer really valuable clues.
Oh, so like if I keep seeing 28 everywhere, it might be a sign to like embrace my collaborative side a little more, or to think about how I can use my strengths to make a difference in the world.
Exactly. Or it could be a little nudge to find more balance between your ambition and your relationships, just like those successful 28s that we talked about earlier.
So it's not about like becoming obsessed with numbers. It's more about seeing them as this kind of cosmic language, a way for the universe to communicate with us.
Precisely. It's about listening to those whispers, those subtle messages that are encoded in our everyday experiences.
This is really making me think about my own birth date in a whole new light. I've always known the numbers, but I've never really stopped to consider what they might say about me, about my path.
And that's the beauty of numerology.
Yeah.
It really does invite us to look a little deeper, to uncover those hidden meanings, those synchronicities that surround us all the time. It's a journey of self-discovery that unfolds one number at a time.
And just like that, we've come full circle. We started with the infinite potential of 0, and now you've basically handed each of our listeners a magnifying glass, encouraging them to explore the infinite potential encoded in their own numerological blueprint. What a perfect note to end on.
It's been a pleasure exploring with you.
The pleasure was all ours, and for our listeners, thank you so much for joining us for this incredible deep dive. I hope you learned some new things and are feeling inspired. Don't be afraid to keep exploring those numbers, keep asking those questions, and most importantly, keep listening to those whispers from the universe. who knows what amazing synchronicities you might just uncover along the way. Until next time.
Keep exploring, keep learning, and keep embracing all those, like, fascinating contradictions that make us who we are.